Patricia Ann Boyd was born on March 17, 1944, in the historic town of Tatton, Somerset, England, to Colin Ian Langdon Boyd and Diana Frances Boyd. Her father's career in the Royal Air Force meant the family moved frequently, sometimes even living abroad. This nomadic upbringing exposed Pattie to a variety of cultures and social settings from an early age, shaping her adaptability, poise, and awareness of people, traits that would later define her presence in the fashion world. The family finally settled in England after Colin's discharge in 1953, providing a more stable environment for Pattie and her siblings. Growing up in a blended family, as the eldest child, Pattie took on a nurturing role toward her younger brother Colin and sisters Jenny and Paula. Her parents' later separation and remarriages introduced step-siblings David, Robert Jr., Claire, and Julia, creating a blended family dynamic. Navigating this diverse family environment strengthened her emotional intelligence and social grace, skills that proved invaluable in the often fickle worlds of fashion and celebrity. These early experiences instilled a sense of responsibility, resilience, and empathy in Pattie, helping her manage both personal relationships and the public scrutiny she would face later in life as a rising star in modeling and society. Academic foundations, and moved to London. Pattie Boyd completed her schooling in 1961, earning 3 GCE O-level passes, a notable accomplishment for a young woman of her generation. Yet her passions were elsewhere, oriented toward creativity, beauty, and self-expression. In 1962, she moved to London, the vibrant epicenter of youth culture and creative innovation, arriving just as the city's cultural revolution took off. The energy, fashion, and music scene in London provided the perfect backdrop for Pattie's aspirations. Her early work as a shampoo girl at Elizabeth Arden's salon led to a fortuitous encounter with a Honey magazine staff member, who recognized her striking beauty and encouraged her to pursue modeling professionally. Rise in the fashion world. By 1962, Pattie had fully entered modeling, initially in London and later in Paris, one of the most glamorous cities for fashion at the time. She was featured in leading magazines such as Honey, the UK edition of Vogue, Vanity Fair, and L'Officiel. Newspapers, including the Daily Telegraph and the Times, frequently highlighted her in fashion spreads. Her look, blending innocence with bold sophistication, resonated with the swinging 60s spirit. Working with iconic photographers like David Bailey, Terence Donovan, and Brian Duffy, Pattie became a muse for the era. Alongside Jean Shrimpton, she embodied a fresh, liberated beauty that departed from the strict glamour of the 1950s, redefining femininity. Breakthrough into film and meeting. George Harrison, Pattie's career took an unexpected turn in early 1964 when she appeared in a television ad campaign for Smith's Crisps, directed by Richard Lester. Impressed by her presence, Lester cast her as a schoolgirl in A Hard Day's Night, the Beatles' first feature film. On set, she met George Harrison, the band's lead guitarist, and their connection was immediate. Their romance quickly drew public attention, thrusting Pattie into the whirlwind of Beatlemania. The world admired their young love, but the pressures of fame introduced challenges and complexities. This period marked a dramatic turning point in Pattie's life, intertwining her rising career with one of the most iconic musical phenomena of the century. Life amidst Beatlemania. Dating. George Harrison brought Pattie unparalleled exposure, making her a symbol of mod culture and glamour. Every appearance, gesture, and movement was scrutinized by fans and the media alike. Despite this intense public attention, the private side of their relationship was more complicated. George, while deeply loving, was increasingly drawn to spiritual exploration and Indian philosophy. Pattie recalls feeling left behind at times, trying to connect with his spiritual journey while navigating her own life in a constantly changing, high-pressure environment. The couple's love remained strong, but the demands of fame and personal transformation created emotional distance that would test their marriage. Marriage and challenges. In 1966, Pattie and George married in a ceremony celebrated around the world. Their union epitomized youthful glamour and artistic energy, yet it was also marked by strain. George's deepening interest in meditation, the sitar, and spiritual pursuits often drew him inward, leaving Pattie to contend with feelings of isolation. She adored him, but sometimes felt like an outsider in his evolving world. Behind the public image of perfect happiness, their relationship experienced tension and emotional distance. Pattie's reflections today reveal both love and vulnerability. She cherished George's gentle nature, yet struggled with the loneliness and contradictions inherent in sharing a life with one of the most famous men in the world. Friendship with Eric Clapton. Complicating matters further was the involvement of guitarist Eric Clapton, who developed a deep, unrequited love for Pattie. This added layers of emotional complexity to an already delicate situation. While she remained devoted to George, the silent turmoil and heartbreak were significant. The pressures of fame, personal longing, and evolving relationships created a web of emotions, often leaving Pattie torn between loyalty, desire, and self-preservation. Clapton's feelings inspired some of the era's most memorable music, while Pattie experienced firsthand the emotional cost of love in the public eye, witnessing how intimacy and artistry intersected in sometimes painful ways. Separation and self-discovery. By 1974, Pattie and George's emotional distance had grown too great, prompting her to make the difficult decision to leave the marriage. She recalls the choice as one of the hardest in her life, acknowledging that while love remained, she needed to reclaim her sense of self. Walking away was painful, yet necessary. Pattie's departure was not born from anger, but from a desire for personal growth and emotional fulfillment. Over time, she and George maintained a quiet, respectful friendship, reflecting mutual forgiveness and understanding. The end of their romantic relationship allowed both to pursue personal paths, while honoring the deep bond they had shared during one of the most transformative periods in music history. Reflections on George Harrison. Today, Pattie Boyd speaks about George Harrison with warmth and honesty, recognizing him as both a rock legend and a flawed, searching human being. She admits their marriage was far from a fairy tale, yet she treasures the experiences and lessons it brought. George's spirituality and pursuit of inner peace left a lasting impression, shaping Pattie's own outlook on life. She recalls moments of joy and inspiration, such as the light in his eyes when he played guitar or spoke about God. These memories endure as a testament to a love that, despite challenges, profoundly influenced her personal and emotional development. Legacy of love and influence. Pattie Boyd's story extends beyond fame, highlighting the human dimension behind cultural icons. Her reflections convey both tenderness and clarity, acknowledging the complexities of love, loss, and forgiveness. The relationships she navigated shaped her identity and inspired music, art, and emotions that continue to resonate. Her life exemplifies resilience, grace, and insight, demonstrating how intimate experiences can leave a lasting mark. Pattie's narrative reminds the world that behind every legend are deeply human stories of connection and growth. Love, she concludes, may not always last forever, but it can shape the essence of who we become. Enduring lessons. At 81, Pattie Boyd embraces her history with candor, offering insights into love, fame, and personal transformation. She honors her memories without idealizing them, recognizing both joy and heartbreak as essential elements of life. Her relationship with George Harrison was a journey of discovery, forgiveness, and growth, leaving an indelible mark on her soul. Pattie's story reminds us that love is multifaceted, teaching lessons about empathy, patience, and the pursuit of inner peace. Through her reflections, she preserves the humanity behind an iconic era, showing that the most enduring legacies are those of the heart, spirit, and resilience.